Greetings, Padawans, and welcome to the Archives. Here to unlock this holocron is the man of the hour, Jedi Master AlsoTeeko.
Also got to talk locations, you know, because if I'm getting stabbed right here, I'm wearing that shit, you know, I'm wearing it. But if I'm getting stabbed down the middle, through the spine, and Darth Maul, he was holding that thing in there for some time too, you know.
Yeah, it's Jover.
He was holding that bad boy in there.
End of season 2, they're like, okay, you have to go to the mines and take a bath, and you know this is your quest for the future.
Bring me back some bath water.
Yeah.
Some Bo-Katan bath water. Judah would be all over that.
And welcome. Wait, why is it just you and me on the screen? Oh shit, my bad.
And welcome everybody. Season 3, episode 1 of the Archives podcast. AlsoTeeko back on the block, and we also have returning to the show. He puts the vice in Viceroy. He is the red hat enthusiast. He is Van Seal.
I am a real American. Fight for the rights of every man.
And also joining us, making his comeback, like the Undertaker himself. The greatest amateur chef in Alaska. We have the Juder, and of course ain't nobody cuter than the Juder. I am your host, AlsoTeeko.
Just a sexy boy. I'm not your boy toy.
Thrawn's back, motherfuckers.
Yeah.
The Empire's back, baby.
So
Fuck
the boys are back in town.
Yeah. I bet there's so many like pro Empire red hat wearers. They're like, hell yeah, brother! Empire's back.
Empire Day, I love it.
Yeah. And welcome back, everybody, to the Archives podcast. I am your host. You can call me whatever you'd like. At this rate, 50 episodes deep. Episode number 50. And it's a solo show tonight, by myself. Couldn't find a co-host. So we are here, and we're going to be talking all about
Hold on now. Solo show.
We're going to be talking about Star Wars gaming, past, present, and the Force ahead. And we are joined by Bolt 23, otherwise known as Evan Furry. How you doing, pal?
Dude, this bit has got to end, bro. This bit needs to end, but I'm doing good. Just got back from Disney World. Was at Galaxy's Edge. Gotta say, Black Spire Outpost, truly one of the coolest places in the whole gosh dang galaxy.
Yeah, we're gonna put some pictures up. We're gonna put some pictures up that Bolt sent on the screen.
I'll send him some more. I'll send him some more as well.
Absolutely, that's so sick. I've really wanted to go because I feel like my niece lives in Orlando, so she goes to Disney a lot, and she says that the Star Wars land is like the most immersive land for anybody, let alone for a Star Wars fan. Can you imagine being a kid and going to Star Wars land, dude?
Yes, that's how I felt.
God.
It enacted like childlike joy the entire time I was there.
I know.
I was just like,
dog, when you sent me the picture of the A-Wing, I was pogging.
There is one thing, only simply one thing, to ruin your immersion in that park. Because we are like 2 minutes and we're already off topic, but hey, that's just how it goes, right? Because you walk in, once you get through like one of the tunnels that takes you in to Galaxy's Edge, everything is built up around you in such a way that you cannot see the rest of the parks.
Mm-hmm.
The only hint that there is anything else or outside of there that is not Batu, that is not Black Spire Outpost, that is not Galaxy's Edge, is at night you can see the lights from the Chinese theater in Hollywood Studios shining up into the sky.
Got you.
And even then, you can reasonably assume that's something else.
Yeah,
Like Black Spire
they
Outpost.
should have a canon explanation for that. They need to get on
No,
that.
that's the only thing you can see outside of there. It is built up beautifully, and like rides are built into the terrain to where you just cannot tell that they are there.
Dude.
It is a phenomenal park. I also have a full 5-minute long recording of the entirety of the Rise of the Resistance ride on my
That's sick.
GoPro.
You'll have to send that
Or
over so
3
we
times.
can. Yeah, we'll have to attach that to the end of this episode or something.
Yeah,
That would be so sick. My goal for this podcast is to do a live episode from Disney World before like the premiere of a movie or something.
Oh, that'd be so sick.
That's my end goal. That's my like, and it probably won't happen for 1,000 episodes, but that's my end goal for this. That's what I really want to do. So if you guys want that to happen, make sure you share this podcast everywhere, because it is available everywhere that you get your podcasts. And thank you guys for supporting for 50 episodes. I know I've not been the most consistent, but I'd like to be consistent. And for that, like, Bolter and I were talking about recording next weekend, but I'm like, I got to get an episode out for Tuesday. We got to make it 3 weeks in a row on Tuesday. Because I feel like once you get into a habit that happens weekly and you get 3 weeks in a row, it kind of motivates you to keep it going. And it's not that I don't have the motivation to keep it going. I know life gets in the way, but I feel like even if it's a solo show, I feel like I can always carve out 30 minutes to talk about Star Wars. Even if there's nothing even going on, dude, like, that's where it pays to be a creative, and that's where it pays to be actually creating something within Star Wars. We're going to talk about our book process, because of course each of us are in development, early development of creating a Star Wars story. And I was thinking about something, how cool it would be if our stories somewhat interacted together. That'd be so sick.
Mine theoretically could, after the full 6-book saga is completed in a spin-off.
Yeah.
Or if you wrote a prequel to yours, they could definitely interact.
I was thinking about doing a political drama prequel, but I just don't think that's the audience of Star Wars. I know Andor was so sick, and I know Andor was so great, but I just don't think that that's where people's heads are at right now. I think people are trying to get away from politics. I know there are people who make it their life mission and their life obsession. Their Super Bowl is
His election day is November, whatever.
Yeah.
Is that Tuesday in November?
Absolutely. Their 4th of July is January 6th. Like, you just don't know with these people, man. So I like to steer clear of politics. And if it is politics, have it be literal politics. Have it be policies. Have it be, funding struggles, stuff like that. And mainly just stick to the story, Stick to the story. And we're going to talk all about our writing later on, but this episode is all about gaming, baby. It's all about the video games. It is all about the mobile games. It is about the console games, the PC games, where it started, how we got here. And we first got to talk about the Game Awards. Did you watch the Fate of the Old Republic teaser trailer?
I watched the trailers for all of the games that have been teased in the last couple of years to refresh my memory. So yes.
Dude, I was not expecting that.
No, that was out of left field.
That was so far out of left field.
But in the best way possible.
I wasn't even watching the Game Awards because I don't typically,
I couldn't care less.
Yeah, I don't typically. I was just chilling, talking with my homie. think I was playing Minecraft, and I had two friends join the Discord, freaking the fuck out, telling me that they just announced a new Star Wars game. And I turn it on right in time too. Like, all I had to do was rewind just a little bit, so I didn't really see anything. Man, was I shell shocked, because I would have been on the side of betting $100 that you weren't going to see anything Star Wars, because you never see anything Star Wars. That's what we've been conditioned like. And I know that there's a plethora of games coming out, and we're going to talk about each and every game. But we got two game announcements within 30 minutes of each other for Star Wars games, one of which is coming out in the next calendar year, the other of which I've got slated for 2028. How pumped up are you, man, that we're getting two games into the fold that we weren't even expecting?
Extremely, especially because this whole going back and like, oh, hey, I completely miss Zero Company. I didn't know Zero Company was gonna be a thing. That looks like a fun game.
Yeah.
Did you see that one?
Yeah, it's a you-ass game.
That's-
I don't think it's a me-ass game.
It's a game that's Star Wars, so like, I'll take it.
Yeah, and
But like,
I
hey,
think
look,
5 years ago I would have been there
Star
too,
Wars games
dude.
in 26.
Yeah. I think 5
As
years ago
compared to
I'm
the
there.
0
But
we got this year, right? We didn't get any Star Wars games this year, did we?
this last calendar year? No, I don't think so.
No.
I think the last game that
Started.
ever came out was Outlaws, no?
Outlaws? Yeah, that was what, August of last year?
Could not tell you. Could not tell you when Outlaws came out. But before Outlaws, it was Survivor. But in between there was just a couple of like revivals of Battlefront 2, which
We got the when did it come out, that the Star Wars like Hunters game or whatever, that was like an arena fighting game.
that came out earlier this year, I want to say, but it shut down like a month later.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
That's sad.
And that was a mobile game. It played fine. It was a mobile game, you know. And apart from Galaxy of Heroes,
And
Star Wars mobile games don't really last.
Star Wars mobile games will not last that's the thing, is that like, because I was thinking about in preparation for this, that like you're gonna inevitably wander over into Galaxy of Heroes, and how it has as a mobile. Is Star Wars Galaxy of Heroes one of those like unsung like mobile staples now?
I mean, if any mobile game makes it 10 years, I feel like it's maybe not a staple per se, but
It's like one of those like
It's
background
definitely-
players that has been there the whole time that no one has ever talked about.
it
in the
slipped through the
mainstream.
cracks. Absolutely. It slipped through the cracks. Because it came out in 2015. That's like the golden age of mobile games.
Yeah, like all my friends talk about their old like Clash of Clans accounts. Dude, my old Swigo accounts, like that's not a thing you can say about Marvel Snap. Like it feels like every year I am in my YouTube ads seeing new game of the year for Marvel on mobile.
Yeah.
And I couldn't care less because I know it's not going to last.
No. And it's just like Marvel Snap was a big thing for a while. Never touched it. I don't care about Marvel is also the thing. I care about Star Wars. And I think way back on a haystack, I tried Galaxy of Heroes, but I could not make it through the slow gameplay and the really shitty like turn-based system. I hated it. I didn't want anything to do with it. And this was like 2015 when it was coming out, because I think there were ads for it whenever the Force Awakens was coming out, and whenever Battlefront was coming out, there was like Swiggo ads as well. The OG Battlefront, and I say OG, it's not OG. The
Yes.
PS
Battlefront 3.
the PS4 Battlefront was a very fun game. It was a beautiful game. In hindsight, it probably ran like shit on the PS4. But like at the time, everything ran so good for the time.
I just put in perspective how long it's since we've got a Battlefront game, because Battlefront 2 also came out with the PS4, and we're getting the PS6 maybe next year.
Yeah, and that's what's cool about the Star Wars Jedi 3. And that's what's cool about Fate of the Old Republic. I was telling my friend Steve today. That's going to be built for the PlayStation 6. So that's going to have some... That's going to be a truly groundbreaking Star Wars game, because that's going to be the first Star Wars game at this current rate that is solely developed for that console. I'm sure that Jedi 3 is going to be built for the PS5 and then ported to the PS6 just like Fallen Order was. Which stinks, you know. I think I'd probably wait another year to have a little bit of a... But at the same time, you're asking a lot to make people wait a year for Cal Kestis's conclusion, you know?
Yeah, and also... But also maybe wait a year and maybe the AI bubble will burst and
God,
things will become more affordable again in the tech space.
Yeah, I hope. I'm fed up with AI, man.
This is not a tech podcast.
No,
But
it is
boy,
not.
could I get into it with the tech stuff.
No, this is...
Oh, boys, is AI making it miserable?
It is. It really is. I'm very lucky to have built my computer when I built it. For how much I built it for. It just stinks because I wanted to upgrade when I eventually move. I wanted to just do a whole brand new PC build. At this rate, I'm probably just going to take my PC how it is, because it's relatively solid for everything. I have a 30 series graphics card, which gets the job done for what I need to do. I don't really play anything crazy. I play mobile games, I play Minecraft, I play retro games. If I get any console game, I'll get it on the PlayStation 6. Because I'll have a PlayStation 6. I'll get GTA on the PlayStation. I play with my girlfriend, and she loves to blow me up with RPGs. Sick. But we're getting off task again. Fate of the Old Republic. You watched it. What did you think of the teaser trailer?
I mean, cinematically beautiful, right?
Mm-hmm.
I mean, it just... It goes to show just how incredibly, like, the shot with the, like, rain on the face and then the lightsaber turning on and illuminating it is
beautiful.
just an excellent piece of rendering. Just beautiful.
Mm-hmm.
That's not gameplay footage. We don't really know exactly what it's going to look like. We know what it's going to probably play like based off of who's directing it, what it's the spiritual successor to, what it's maybe to an extent kind of sort of a sequel to, right? It's probably not going to be a majorly different game. It might be different in the way that, you know, Survivor was different from Fallen Order, right? Where they add some extra little fun mechanics because, you know, we've gotten a little bit further in the game and we have a little bit more to play around with in the engine now, right? But I think overall it's exciting. I mean, and again, I'm not going to speculate too much on this stuff. I just kind of like, I'm more so usually in the line of, I like to imagine what could be.
Exactly. We're not here to break down and think, oh, it's going to play like this. It's going to be like this.
I can present what makes sense based off what I've heard, but I'm not going to try and go a deeper level than that.
Correct.
It'll probably play like KOTOR because it's being made by the same guy who made KOTOR.
Yeah.
And that's as far as I'll go.
And
I could say, I hope they maybe do this. I'm not going to say, oh, they're going to do this.
Right. And you have to think, KOTOR came
Or that
out,
they might do it.
what, 03?
Yeah, 03.
And this game is pretty much beginning production. You know, they've teased it. It's beginning production. We have 22 years of advancements to give the minds that created one of my favorite RPGs ever. I just can't wait to see what they do with it, and I'm very excited for it.
The thing I have heard that is interesting is that what people are speculating, and that I think would make a lot of sense, is that maybe we get the KOTOR remake news soon.
Oh, I think so. I think that comes before.
That would make a lot of sense. You drop that like a year or two before to remind people how great KOTOR was, like to get it into the minds of the new generation, right? Because you gotta remember, when KOTOR came out, I did not exist.
No, this guy never experienced 9/11.
There is a whole generation of people who A, did not experience that, and B, did not experience KOTOR.
Right.
Who were not even alive when it was made. Right? And so you get a chance to kind of bring it back and like hype up all of the people who remember it from when it came out and get them back into it and get them hyped up about it. And you get to bring this whole new generation, and then boom, new game 2 years later.
And I got to remind people.
Absolute profits.
I got to remind people. This is a remake, not a remaster. We're not just slapping over new graphics and stuff.
This is true.
They are building it from the ground up. Remaking the entire game.
You really think they're not going to add some stuff when they're already doing all that?
They're absolutely adding stuff.
Exactly.
All I've ever wanted, though, from these games is to be able to invite my friends to play as the companions. That's it. And moving forward into gaming, dude. The only thing I'll ever ask for, the only thing I've been asking for, is a sandbox, Star Wars, massive open world RPG action game. Similar to
GTA
that.
Star Wars.
Similar to GTA Online, Red Dead Online. Absolutely. I don't know.
That's all I want too.
Yeah, I don't know why you can't just slap a Star Wars skin over that and call it a day. You have all the core gameplays. You have all the class
you would
abilities.
Never find me on any other game.
No.
Ever again.
And just imagine like the modded in-depth roleplay servers on that, dude. Holy shit.
Imagine how many ads you could serve me on that game, and then I would just be fine with it.
Yeah, honestly.
Imagine all the money you can make off of me in cosmetics off in that game.
You throw some... I would absolutely... If a game like that came out, I would absolutely support it through in-app purchases. But imagine you're just chilling on Nar Shaddaa, just ran some spice, delivered it, got paid out. You look up, and there's a Steph Curry DoorDash ad on a billboard. Like... I'm not saying I'd hate it, but I wouldn't mind it if we needed to. Speaking of billboards, if you were in downtown Los Angeles this past weekend, you saw a billboard for Star Wars Galactic Racer, which is coming in 2026, which features online multiplayer character customization.
Wait, is that confirmed?
Yeah. Car customization.
Online multiplayer is confirmed?
Yeah.
Oh, sick. Because I didn't know if that had been confirmed. I knew like multiplayer had been confirmed, but I hadn't heard it was confirmed online multiplayer.
Mm-hmm.
Sick. Let's go.
And it looks like it's placed within the Skywalker saga because Sebulba's alive. Dugs usually live till they're about, 50. So I don't think it's far off. They place it in the Age of the Empire because you can hear in the trailer with gameplay, by the way. That was a gameplay trailer. You hear in the trailer that the Empire, took down all the racing courses and we're trying to build them back up. So that'll be really cool. If there's a story mode, awesome. I really look forward to that. That'll be fun. You're obviously going to be on that game because you play F1 like a weirdo.
You know, I just bought a whole racing sim setup, right?
I do. I've seen that. Yeah.
If that comes out with day one support for like steering wheels and stuff, oh my gosh. I'm gonna have so much fun.
You gotta assume it will based on the makers of the game and what they've made.
Yeah. No, yeah, for real. It's like, granted, none of them worked on like any of the major sim stuff, but like, who cares? Please, if it has any kind of support for sim gear, oh my gosh, it's gonna be such a fun game. Even if it doesn't, it's gonna be such a fun game.
If they sold a pod racer wheel, would you buy it?
If it was compatible with my current wheelbase, yes.
Hell yeah.
If it's a whole separate, if I'd have to mount the whole separate wheelbase to my rig, no.
Dude, I'm really excited.
However,
I've really not played any racing games before. GTA is really the only racing game. My brother-in-law has I forgot what the game was called, but he has a racing rig. And he's had it for over a decade.
iRacing.
I'd have to ask him. He lives next door. I'll ask him tomorrow. We'll get the answer. But he has a sick little racing game as well, that also has like driving lessons. So before I took my permit tests, I would do simulations, and just like the simulations.
Just like this, I was about to say that.
No, I love racing games. I never really got into them because I never had a wheel. It was always just on controller. So I really look forward to that, and we will be there. We will be there. I already have a wish list on Steam, so that'll be really tight. I'll pull up the listing for it, and we'll read all the information on it, because I reckon that we're gonna get 3 games this coming year. Galactic Racer. We're getting Zero Company, and I think that the CCG that is being created is also going to come out in 2026, because I can't imagine that's going to take a while to code.
Okay, and then just a little side note, because here's the thing. Before Galactic Racer got announced, right, I already had plans to be playing a very, very fun racing game. I'm trying to figure out what it's called. But there was a racing game that was set to come out, or I think it actually is in beta. I just cannot remember what it's called, but it is very reminiscent of. It is like basically Galactic Racer, but if you were exclusively in T-47 airspeeders.
Mm-hmm. That sounds sick.
It's like not Star Wars at all, but that's kind of the way the control profile is that you have to like. But you could like individually like turn off and on engines and stuff, and like open flaps to turn. And it looks so sick, and I wanted to give it a little shout because I believe it's in beta.
It says it right here. I'm just confirming it for the people watching the video format. Single player online PvP and cross-platform multiplayer.
Yes.
So that'll be pretty tight. And then what? The Gran Turismo? Is that a?
Yeah, Gran Turismo. Yeah, that is in fact one.
What? F1? I'll look at F1. I just want to see what the controller support is looking like.
Oh, the controller support's good on F1. Most racing games will let you just use a normal controller. It's not ideal, but it's.
I was just seeing if it also had some sort of information about the wheel rig setup, but it doesn't. Just the controllers that it supports.
Ah, okay, yeah.
To see if there's anything I was missing on the Galactic Racer, but I'll put the I'll put the trailer up for the video format, folks. Game engine footage, dude, is what they used for it. And I just think that that's so metal. That's so sick. That they brought.
It's gonna be super. It's gonna be so exciting. I'm so hyped.
Absolutely. Absolutely, and I will be there day one. It's gonna be absolutely sick. Especially if it's at a decent price. I don't know what they're gonna price it at. I would guess for it's a racing game. I would guess $49.99, dude. I don't think that they're gonna put a $70 price tag on this. Especially if they put some micros in there for like character customization and stuff. Do you think this game's gonna be so pay to win? Do racing games have that pay to win? You would know better. I've never played a racing game.
It shouldn't have pay to win.
But could it?
It definitely no. I don't think it could.
Okay.
In the same way, at least not in a super obtuse way. Like in a simple way, like a lot of like I'm seeing do it. It would be extremely weird and obtuse. It would probably only pertain to online multiplayer. I feel like that game would be sufficiently competitive in single player speedrun categories.
Oh, it absolutely will.
Runs-based game.
Yeah.
It's supposed to be like a runs-based game in the single player format, which I think I will have plenty of fun with on my own. Like just having a runs-based game with all that.
Yeah.
I just hope my biggest hope is that vehicle customization is deep.
Yeah, me too. Parts
grows
customization
deeper over time.
Mm-hmm.
And then it's not incredibly just like, oh, you can change the paint color. Then it's like, no, you can actually swap out this engine and you can like completely change the body work. Or you can go to this completely different model of speeder and you can change this thing and this thing about it, right? And then I can balance it how I want to, right? Then I can do like, for all the sim racing people, then I can do car setup stuff, right? Then I can, tweak this thing for going and racing this particular, map, right?
Mm-hmm.
Could be cool. Could be fun. I don't know. Could be cool.
It could be tight. I paused my screen really quick because I don't have to share my screen so you can see what I'm looking at. I think I see something. But we're just verifying. We have to open Swigo to verify it. But I think I see something, you guys. I don't think it means anything, mind you. Very popular. So it doesn't necessarily mean anything. But I just want to verify. Make sure I'm not obtuse rubber goose.
Oh. Yes, people. I have seen people pointing that all right that could be Outrider.
All it's missing is a ship docked into it. But people have noticed it.
It is Corellian.
It is. That is a YT 2400.
Corellian is not uncommon.
No, exactly. It's one of the like. That's the
Corellian, Corolla, basically the same thing.
Right. That's the hot. That's the one. That's the one. That's the Toyota Corolla. But
yeah, Corellian freighters are like Toyotas, bro. They're like Honda Civics.
I'm gonna do a speed run of this game for sure. Try to beat your times. But now we're gonna do a speed interest rate ranking. I'm gonna name a game that is rumored to come out, and I want you to give me 1 through 10 barstool scale. So like 1 number to the 10th place out of 10. How interested that you are in the game coming out, and you guys can do so in the comment section below. I'd be very curious to see what your scores are as well. So the first game, Star Wars Galactic Racer.
And
We'll take it. The next game, Star Wars Zero Company.
6.5.
6.5, okay. The Star Wars tabletop card collecting game, card battle game. I think it's a card battle game. It's like
okay.
It's like
So now so Destiny is dead and Unlimited is dead now. We're doing another one.
No. This is like a digital card battle game.
Oh, so it's like the Pokemon Mobile TCG.
Not entirely. Not entirely.
Okay, I don't hate TCGs, and I do enjoy like deck build. If it's like a deck building game.
I think so. It's closer.
I enjoy deck building games. I'll give it like a 6.
I look forward
maybe a
to
7.
it. I look forward to it.
I'll give it a 7. I'll give it a 7.
It sounds like a game I used to play called NBA Supercard. It sounds like that, but I look forward to it. We'll see what happens with it. The next game would be the Knights of the Old Republic remake.
9.
9. Okay.
And here's why I'm gonna give a quick little thought why it's on a 10. I do not finish single player games well. I am not good about finishing my single player games, and so I just know it's not going to get the love from me that it deserves.
Right.
But it's very exciting regardless.
Mm-hmm. I'm like the same way. I'm the same way. I'm really bad at finishing single player games. I still need to finish Red Dead Redemption 2. I'm in Chapter 6, St. Louis. All right. Next game that would theoretically come out, Star Wars Jedi 3, the unannounced Cal Kestis trilogy completer.
I didn't finish Fallen Order. I'm in the middle of Survivor.
Dog, finish Fallen Order first.
It's on my Xbox One. I do not want to bother booting my Xbox One. That's why that is why I have not finished Fallen Order. I just started Survivor. I just gave up on Fallen Order. I'll go back and play it eventually.
No,
I'll eventually
save yourself the time. Save yourself the time.
I'll eventually spend the money.
No. Save yourself the time and money. I have an 11-hour upload of the entire playthrough of Star Wars Jedi Fallen Order. Just go ahead and watch that.
Cool.
Go ahead and watch that.
Yeah. Okay,
that is 10 out of 10 for me. That's the one for me.
Yeah, no, but but those games I actually have played and I adore them, so it's a 10.
Yeah, that's fair. And I'm here for that. All right. The next game would be Amy Hennig's unannounced, or not unannounced, it is announced. It is the unnamed project that is a Uncharted style Star Wars game. I don't know if you've ever played Uncharted before. It's another single player game.
I've never played Uncharted, but I know what it is.
I'm pretty excited for it.
That sounds fairly high.
I like the genre exploration.
An 8.
Yeah. I love the genre exploration. And more games is better. Fill it up. Give me a game a year. Holy hell. I would anticipate by 2028 as well that we probably get a new Lego game. Because the Skywalker Saga came out a while ago. When did the Skywalker Saga come out? Was that 2021?
A long time ago. That's what it is.
Initial release date April 5th, 2022 is when it was released. It was supposed to come out in 2021. Yeah, it was originally meant to be released on October 20th, 2022. But then it was delayed. And then on April 2nd, 2021, it was announced that it was delayed again. And then on August 25th, 2001, they said that it was delayed until early 2022. On January 2022, it was delayed until April 5th, 2022. So there we go. And the game came out and it's still butters. But I think that we'll get a new Lego game pretty soon. They're pushing the Lego stuff on Disney Plus, so I don't think it'll be long until we get another game. What is your excitement for another Lego game?
A Lego game of what?
Star Wars.
Yeah, but of what?
You tell me, man.
And for that, a 4.
Honestly,
Lego games, they're baller, but like, what are we getting? Lego? Like, are they gonna make a whole new? Are they gonna like pull a?
They'd have
Jedi
to make
Survivor, make like a whole new thing.
They'd have to
But in
make
Lego.
Yeah.
Yeah, just give it to me in real form, unless it's because if not, because it's gonna be because I'm either gonna be upset that it's not in full like AAA Unreal Engine looks like normal people style, or it's gonna be a game for 7-year-olds. So you know what? I backtracked my 4, a 2.5.
2.5. He had to throw
2.5.
He had to throw in the half. I couldn't give a fuck. I couldn't. 0 for me. I won't buy another Lego game. Not because I don't care. It's just I don't care. I don't. It's not for me. It's for y'all. Y'all can enjoy it. I hope you enjoy it. I hope it's excellent. I hope it's great. Not for me. But I hope you enjoy it. The next game that would theoretically come out in 2028 would be Star Wars: Fate of the Old Republic.
Assuming I end up playing the KOTOR remake, 10. If
Hell
not,
yeah.
also a 9.
It's a 10 for me. I love the KOTORs. I'm gonna be beating the Dark Side ending tonight. I very much look forward to that after this recording. So that's a 10 for me. And then Star Wars Knights of the Old Republic 2 remake would probably follow that, which would also be a 10 because that's a really good game as well. There's a lot of excitement for games. There's a lot of excitement for all sorts of media, and most media that we get comes in the form of novelizations. You, Bolter, are writing a Star Wars book, are you not?
We're not in the process of writing yet, but yes, I am.
You're in the development. You're in the developmental
stages. Yes.
Do you feel comfortable sharing the title of your book?
It is a work in progress TBD title, but yeah, sure. I will also share the story of how the title came to be.
Yeah. And we'll flash the graphic on screen right now.
Yeah. Anyways, it is Savalas, a Star Wars story. I could not think of a better way to title it at the moment. I think it does kind of work functionally as a title, at least. However, a little fun thing to know about the title is that the title was originally something completely different, makes way less sense, but it is really funny in that what the title was ended up getting used.
Really?
For an actual produced piece of media. Do you want to know what the original title I came up with when I first started workshopping this story as like a child in elementary school was?
What is it?
Tales of the Jedi. Deadass.
Did you copy that from the comics run that happened ages ago?
No, I was just like, oh, this is a name I could give it. And then they're like, we're making a show called that. I'm like, the freak you mean?
Here, I thought that it was Savalas, a Clone Wars story.
No, because it's gonna span past Clone Wars. I know. I'm gonna say if they're in the Discord, join the Discord. You can see this will be the plug for the Discord. If you want to see, I actually have sat down a couple months ago, and it's posted in the Discord, I do believe. where is it in the Discord? Where did I put it? It was in the old Discord.
It was probably in a separate. It was probably in the Star Wars that got removed. It's probably Gonzo, but
All right. Well, I still have the image. I can send it. I can send it.
yeah, he'll put it in the cantina tonight.
We'll put it in the cantina tonight. We can pin that thing. But I made an entire timeline. This, like I said, I did I say earlier that it's a 6-book saga?
Yes.
Is the intention that will span all the way from. So the character is named eqsFI. He is a human male from Alderaan, and it will span all the way from him becoming a Jedi, so becoming a part of the Order. So book 1 will span basically through his time, kind of flashing back through him to him being a youngling, through his time as a Padawan, and then book 2 will pretty much pick up with him becoming a knight at the start of the Clone Wars, roughly.
And the rest you're gonna have to read.
Similar in age to Anakin Skywalker, but yes, the rest you will have to read. As I'm not even really necessarily planning exact story past book 2 at the moment, but I have a lot planned for what I'd like to do with it.
Absolutely.
And it feels like ideas I have, they keep like going and keep bringing up in Star Wars because, little spoiler, I also want to do a little bit of starfighter racing in my Empire era book. So we'll see what happens there, how I tie that back in once we actually have some reference material by then.
Yeah, that's awesome, man. I've got 5 questions listed, but we're already getting close to the time that I wanted to stop things. Do you want to talk about these questions next episode or ask a couple here?
Oh, we can go and knock out a couple here.
Absolutely. Awesome. Cool. So the one that I love to ask is the first question. What part of Star Wars lore did you find yourself having to push back against or reinterpret while writing this story, developing this story?
I think that as I'm sitting down and thinking about, because trying to write within canon, particularly within the Skywalker saga, and during times where we do not have gaps in the story, right? Because, like, where you are writing between Return of the Jedi and Force Awakens.
Mm-hmm.
We have a 30-year gap, which is one of the lesser filled-in gaps, especially considering how large that gap is.
Yeah, I was talking about it on my stream the other day. I have a 19-year gap of unmolested material.
Exactly.
It's pretty nice.
I will have a lot of freedom with book 1, with it being entirely before Attack of the Clones, and again, because the events of episode 1 aren't going to really affect it all too much. So that I have kind of complete freedom, but after that I have to actually start thinking, okay, how do I do this without disrupting the canon? Because I want this to be able to still fit in the canon, right? Because I'd like this to eventually become canonized.
Absolutely.
And so when I find myself, I think my biggest thing that I feel like I tend to push back on is Star Wars has a lot of times, they've done better about it recently, but particularly in the main line has felt like a very small universe. And I want to expand that more. Yes, I know my main character's from Alderaan. Yes, whatever.
No, don't even phrase it like that, man. Because like,
but I plan to.
How many Alderaanian characters do you know?
This is true.
Like Cara Dune,
besides the Organas.
That's really it.
Directly associated with the Organas, like their guards.
Yeah, that's really it, man. Like it's nice to have lore about non-royals. Like Crazy. How dare people make movies about California and Hollywood, you know? Oh, scumbags.
Yeah.
I don't like that. That's such a borrowed, like, cherry pick argument. Like, why is everything on Tatooine? Think about it. Luke Skywalker was raised on Tatooine. Anakin Skywalker was raised on Tatooine. Who are the Star Wars movies about? Anakin and Luke Skywalker. Do you think that we're going to have some revisiting to Tatooine? Of course. We have to tell the story of where they grew up.
Not really what I'm referring to. There's just some other things that I feel like are like, okay.
Yeah, this
is not reasonable.
Sure, but your character being from Alderaan
is not messed up. Yeah, this is true.
What's like?
But yeah, I think that
they're friendly to the Republic. So it's not like you're taking them from a crazy ass planet like the Chiss and bringing them to the Jedi Temple and having a Chiss Jedi, which never would fucking happen. And
fire though.
Sure, but that's more buck wild. That would be more Redditor. That would be more Fedora than having a guy from Alderaan.
Yeah.
And I'm not going to let people push people around for telling the stories that they want to tell. If they connect with a planet, if they connect with a person, a character who happens to be from a planet, let them tell the fucking story. If you want to criticize, tell your own goddamn story. And don't self-insert with a fucking Chiss. Don't self-insert with a ridiculous OC bounty hunter that collects Jedi lightsabers as trophies. Like, figure it out, man. I'm so tired of people nitpicking. And the fact that you even had to hesitate there to defend yourself subconsciously. I'm sorry, dude. Because I think it's dope that your character's from Alderaan.
Thank you, but I think this is the biggest thing is I want to strike that balance of like, so I think my biggest goal is that, so I guess I gotta refine my statement is that I don't want to go off and be a Mandalorian necessarily, where I am completely separate, right? Where I'm completely off to the side and doing this whole separate thing, right? I want to be more like an Andor, where I am going places you've never seen before, doing things you've never seen before, but I keep coming back to these touchstones that you recognize that ground it in familiarity to give it to ensure consistency, I guess, right?
Mm-hmm.
You know, to give references. Yeah, so connect it back to give references, but not to try and add on to that story necessarily. But just to show this is what's going on at the same time.
Yeah, and I think that's sick. I think that's really tight. Having the wherewithal to create more context, more lore for a place that we really don't know much about. And then go and do your own thing. And I think that's awesome. The only reason I'm not creating a planet is because I just it's not in my cards to do so. It doesn't. It's not going to bring me any logic. It's not going to bring me any completionist feelings of, achievement if I create a planet just to plop my characters down there for a second. I will eventually, but when I do something else that's not focused on telling a story of where it needs to be told, I'll do something different. But
yeah, because like for me personally, right, I think there's a time and place for each, right?
Mm-hmm.
Please, for the love of God, stop making more Sith planets.
Yeah, those don't need to exist.
Make the Sith planet, and stop making the Sith planet not actually the real Sith planet.
No, we don't need
And
4 Sith
there is-
planets.
Don't go and make another Ring of Kafrene. Don't try and go make another Kessel, right?
Mm-hmm.
Those are beautifully unique and should stay one of ones. But you know what? If you want to have a separate desert planet with a completely separate culture and architecture at Tatooine, yeah, go for it.
Just
Do that.
make it. Yeah, just make
Right?
it. Make it yours.
Exactly. So I think that kind of leads to the next thing of how do you balance honoring established canon with the need to surprise longtime fans? You got to find the time and the place.
Mm-hmm.
You got to look does this belong here? And would this make sense to exist?
Right. My big thing and why my book's taking a good while is just because I am bouncing back between writing and research. And I have a good grasp of it now, of where I'm going and everything involved. But you still have to do checks and balances. Like, I just changed something in my prologue and my first chapter just based upon doing a little bit of research. That was just oversight. It's just oversight on my end. And nothing even massive, just simply where people are at a certain time and putting them there, giving them a reason to be there.
And I sat down, I spent an hour trying to write the first couple of sentences of a prologue. Or not a prologue, it's a bit of an introduction. Because I wanted to figure out where the sun would be rising relative to my character.
Mm-hmm.
And so I sat down for like an hour scrolling through Google Images and like trying to do spatial reasoning in my head to figure out where the sun is going to be.
Mm-hmm.
To make it work.
The sun's a massive part in non-visual art. Like,
and does it, and look, is anyone ever going to go in and tell me, well, actually, you know, they weren't on that side of this building, and so therefore the sun would have been rising to them? Is anyone ever going to notice that? Probably not. But
no, but when this eventually gets made into it's going to matter. When they make this into live action,
yeah, if that ever happens, yeah, it definitely matters.
Absolutely. Which I think that they will. I think that there's tons more stories to tell within the Skywalker saga, but like you alluded to, those stories are being told. So, one thing that I was going to talk about in this question, there's some really shitty Kylo Ren comics that at first I was, honoring and letting them exist. I don't give a goddamn about those Kylo Ren comics because they do not tell who he is as a character, how he is as a character, when he was that version of himself. So I'm writing the true story of Ben Solo, and I'm ignoring comics because that comics stink. Like, the Star Wars comics stink, man. They're so chalked, and it's so weird that these stories, I feel like they don't get vetted. I feel like they don't get looked at, and
they end up getting retconned anyways. Like,
right.
I feel like comics are not worth, because the Star Wars comics just don't seem to get taken seriously when it comes to consideration for being in the canon. Even the books at some point feel like they don't get fully taken as 100% canon. It feels like they sometimes get taken as like 95.
Mm-hmm.
No, but I mean, we've already seen, major comic lines get sections of them retconned by on-screen media, so
yep.
I wouldn't worry too much about the comics.
I couldn't give a damn. No, my point A is Return of the Jedi. My point B is The Force Awakens. You mix in a little bit of the Book of Boba Fett with Luke's time with Grogu. You mix in the Mandalorian finale with Luke's being there saving the day. That's really it. Like, I'm honoring visual media. Star Wars Shadow of the Sith did some really dumb shit with Luke and his interactions with Ben and his explanations of Ben and how the academy was going. So there was a lot of inconsistencies there, and they also really pigeonholed when that book takes place, because it takes place in 21 years after the Battle of Yavin. They say that Ben Solo is 16 years old in that book. Ben was born on our equivalent of November 8th in 5 after the Battle of Yavin, which means that Shadows of the Sith takes place after November 9th in 21 ABY. And it's probably not anywhere near there because Life Day would probably be brought up. But it's probably a little later in the year. But we know it's 21 ABY, and we know that Ben is 16, so it probably takes place in December. But the way that he explains December on Ossus stinks. So I just don't think that he really took things into account, because there's a literal day that Ben Solo was born, and it's explained. Yeah. It is written out. It is real. It's his birthday, and that's the equivalent of our 365 November 8th. So for him to pigeonhole his story to Ben being 16 and when it is, it works. I'm just not touching that entire year, basically. And I'm going after it. So my book has some time skips. I know yours do as well, but they're mainly between the books, right?
Biggest time skips will really be, well, actually, big time skips will actually really more so occur inside books, honestly.
Okay.
Which is really actually kind of backwards to the way it usually is, but like currently the plan is kind of gonna be broken up into a pre-purge trilogy and then a post-purge trilogy. Spoiler, he's a Jedi who survives the purge, because that's how he gets 6 books. But the idea is that the pre-purge and the post-purge trilogy you'll have a cliffhanger to end the first trilogy. Mm-hmm. So yeah, like I said, I've done some loose planning. This character was originally created as like a playground character, right, in elementary school, and I've just kind of over time established some just headcanon and stuff that I have just at some point wanted to write down. So
mm-hmm. Now
the process is beginning.
Yeah. Do you look forward to it?
Oh yeah.
Hell yeah, man. I think we'll wrap it up there, and we'll finish the rest of the questions in the next one. I appreciate your time, and I appreciate you guys for listening to part 1 of this podcast. I'm going to do a next part with video and answering some fan questions, but yeah, we'll catch you in the next one.
Are we gonna throw that video up here at the end? Since we can drop it in the next episode.
We'll put it right here.
Medical guide you. Recruits, for your safety, stay seated with seatbelts securely fastened. Keep hands, arms, feet, and legs inside the transport and supervise your children. Tell them it's a prisoner transfer. Did it work? Good. Now get a move on. There's a clear path to the turbo lifts at the end of the hallway. Turn right. Probe droid. You're lucky it didn't spot you. Take those turbo lifts and stay out of trouble. Hey, you're not authorized. Wait, go to the prison. Find an alternate route. Who picked these 2 droids anyway? Brace the shields.
Shields? I see no evidence.
Sound the alarm. All personnel to their stations.
Sir, the prisoners have escaped.
How brave, but ultimately hopeless. There's nowhere to run.
Came in a little off target. Ground crews will meet you outside the wreck.
All right, nice job, recruits. Not what you signed on for, but hey, you're resistance now. I think I have that authority. Right, Beck? Where's the lieutenant? I need eyes on Beck. Line up. Scaffold's pod beacon.
More escape pods down in Sector 4. Verification pending from Key Command personnel.
Where's the lieutenant? I need eyes on Beck.
We're tracking Beck's pod at the wreckage, sir. It's...
Wreckage? I got a bad feeling about this.
No, sir. He came down to the wreckage site.
That doesn't sound good. That was the backbone of this operation. If anything happens to me...
Scans last showed him in Sector 4.
Should have waited for it.
Sir, you had no choice. You had to get those data tapes off the ship.
We never leave anyone behind.
Lieutenant back here.
Beck! Oh, you're alive!
I should hope so. Great job, recruits. Thanks to your heroism, the location of the resistance base is secure.
And welcome back, everybody, to the mailbag segment of the podcast. It is your boy, Trevor. We're doing this part solo. And here we go. Alex from Seattle, shout out to Seattle, asks, when you go through a funk, what is it about Star Wars that brings you out of it? Which is a pretty funky question in and of itself. Because I don't know about you guys, but I always do have comfort shows, comfort movies. And personally, it is typically Star Wars for me. I like to give myself a few rewatches. I'll do 3 rewatches a year for the movies. I do for my birthday, which is late October. I do Christmas, and then I do May 4th, in and around that time. And I like to do a movie a day leading into all of it. Except for Christmas. For Christmas, I like to start, like today's the 21st that I'm recording this aspect of the podcast, because the other time I tried recording this, it just kept corrupting, and it wouldn't render. So we're gonna try it again. Today's the 21st, so we're gonna start today with The Phantom Menace. Tomorrow's the 22nd. so you can get the picture. Attack of the Clones, Revenge of the Sith on the 23rd, 24th, A New Hope, 25th, Empire Strikes Back, 26th, The Return of the Jedi, 27th, Force Awakens, 28th, we'll do, or sorry, I forgot about Rogue One as well. And that's why I wanted to do it. Because Rogue One on New Year's Eve, I'm all over the place. Rogue One on Christmas Eve, which makes A New Hope Christmas, you know, the day that Christ was born. A New Hope kind of just works out that way. Boxing Day, Empire. The 27th would then be Return of the Jedi. The 28th would be The Force Awakens. 29th would be The Last Jedi. And then the 30th would be The Rise of Skywalker. The reason why I don't include Solo in all that is because it's kind of its own little thing. Whereas Rogue One is a direct tie-in to A New Hope, Solo kind of is its own thing. I group Solo in with like Mandalorian, where yeah, it does eventually tie in, but that is its own thing. That is its own universe. You know what I mean? So I'm a bit, precarious with how I do that. And then the reason also why I don't want to add an 11th movie, because New Year's Eve, I really just want to be hanging out with family all night, big chilling, and having a good evening. So it's 10 days in a row with some solid Star Wars watching. It's a really good time, and usually those get me back into it. And I do get excited for it. I do really get excited for it. Good question, Alex. The next one's from Maya from Canada. And she asks, what Star Wars opinion do you have that's pretty normal, but you still feel weird saying it out loud? That's a really good question. I didn't want to rehash the one that I said originally. So I'm trying to think of a second one. But I think that they dropped the ball with Finn. And the reason why I think that it's weird saying it out loud, because everybody and their mom hates the sequel trilogy. And I don't hate it inherently. I think, man, we've talked about it before on the podcast. We're 50 episodes in. We've definitely talked about it. But it's very disjointed, and I do think that it's down to how Rian Johnson portrayed Finn as a bumbling goofball, as opposed to someone that needs to be taken serious. And that stinks. And that really stinks. Jordan from Texas asks, is Star Wars better experienced alone or shared with other fans? I think it's one of those that you could watch with people. That you can have a good time, you can laugh, you can make jokes, you can call things out that you notice. Or you can watch it by yourself and, really deeply think about the story, deeply think about the characters and the perspectives and what they could be thinking about at the moment. I think either or. I think it's one of those that's either or, and you can't go wrong with either or. I'm always about hanging out with friends and doing things with friends, but at the same time, I can holistically hang out by myself and feel really comfortable doing so. Good question. This question's from Aldous Sandfly from the Welcome to Sandfly's YouTube and Twitch channel. And he asks, basically, do I think that the Star Wars Galactic Racer is going to be one of those, flavor of the month kind of games that don't really have that replayability and die off after a few times playing it? Personally, I hope not. I think that game has tons of potential. I think that game has plenty that it can build on with, tournament, different races. There's tons of different maps from the trailer alone. Game modes, time trials. Like, racing games are popular, and racing games don't really die until the next one comes out. Like, so I think it's going to have a nice, rich player base. I think there's going to be tons of people playing it. It's really just up to the developers to give content, you know what I mean? I totally understand the qualms and the worries and the anxieties about, investing into a game only for it to die, which would stink, especially for a Star Wars game, especially for a game like that people have been asking for, a pod racing game, for how long? I went back and listened to some older podcasts, getting ready for this 50th episode. And a few times people on our pod have asked for a pod racing style game. So, I mean, even grifters will be there. Like, it's going to be a tight game no matter what. I hope that it does have that nice longevity to it, though. But really good question. Nina V from New York asks, if you weren't force sensitive, what's your realistic job in the Star Wars galaxy? I would love to be some sort of merchant. I'd love to sell something, work with smugglers, get in all the good stuff. I wouldn't want to be a smuggler myself. I'd definitely be a pilot. I'd definitely love to be a pilot. That would be sick. Maybe like a Naboo Royal Guard. Something like that. Something sick. Maybe politician, but like be one of the good ones. I don't know. I hate politicians, though. That's what's fun about that question, Nina, is that, like, they're just like in the real world, there's endless possibilities. You can really do whatever the hell you want within reason of whoever wants to hire you. But yeah, really good question. This one is from Tyler from Ohio. Did Luke actually succeed at rebuilding the Jedi, or did he prove the idea was flawed? I think, wait until my book comes out and find out. Because there's a lot that people don't realize goes into rebuilding an entire Jedi Order. So I would say hold off on your predispositions towards Luke Skywalker's Jedi Order and give it a few months, and my book will be out, and we'll be able to talk about it then. Last question of the pod. What is one big question about the galaxy that Star Wars still hasn't answered? That's from Owen from New Zealand. All right, Owen. I think the one question that Star Wars hasn't answered is, where are we going? And I think that those questions are going to be answered here soon. We have tons of movies coming out with Starfighter, with the Mandoverse, with the New Jedi Order, with Dawn of the Jedi. So I think we have an idea. We have a bar that's set, obviously, with Andor. We just have to see how things go from here on out. But let me know what you guys think in the comments. Tweet me at Star Wars TAP. Join the Discord and keep the conversations going. It has been your boy Trevor, aka AlsoTeeko, and Bolt23, and this has been the Archives Podcast, episode 50. We will see you next time on a Force Awakens based podcast celebrating the 10th anniversary of The Force Awakens. Have a good one.